out bubbles when I speak. I'm a freak, because she's received out for me. I'm unique, there is only one of me. I'm complete, so I really don't care what you think of me. I'm a geek.
So we got to work on some of the drawings. So we started to draw Oryx, and then we drew the crown for Oryx separately so I can manipulate that, and then we drew a couple panels for Aang. I don't know where his head is. I drew his head, can't find it. It's somewhere. His head is somewhere. Aang's head is somewhere in my room. Did that sound weird? Anyways, so I was looking at this after our stream. Let me see. I solely blame Cross. Flips table. Yeah, that's right. We can blame Cross too. Cross and Caleb. Kraleb is the way I like to say it. Let's blame Kraleb. Or Crosslip? Crawlip? I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. Aang lost his head. Yes, banned. Didn't tell a guy they were into Destiny. Alright, so I was looking at this piece this week, and I wasn't satisfied with it at all. Because the main goal of this is we are going to be putting Aang in here, right? He's obviously going to be a lot smaller than this. Because this dude is like 300 feet tall. Is that our married name? I'm not about it. It is now. Oryx pieces prize from the 12-hour stream to for Chunk to Hot. Yes. Taylor on the other hand. I can't actually remember if Nitro has ever played. Yes, I have. I've played Destiny 1 quite a bit. I'd never beat it, but I put a solid 100 hours into it probably. And my wife and I played Destiny 2 quite a bit as well. I'm notorious for starting games and not finishing them, so that doesn't say a lot about the game. It just says a lot about my lack of commitment. You can't ban me. I'm a mod. Right on. Yeah. All right. So I was looking at this and I was like, man, this is not conveying the size that I want to with him, because again, he's supposed to be like 200-300 feet tall, and I'm not gonna be able to get what I want to do with this. So I completely redrew him, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm really stoked with how this turned out. This new drawing. I was so stoked that I sent Cross a video message, and I was like, dude, you guys see this? So here's the new one. Here's the new Oryx. Now, I finished this in pen, and I've already scanned it in, but I am so excited about this. We're going to kind of manipulate this in Photoshop tonight. Oh, my gumdrop buttons. Dude, I need that as a sound alert.
Let's go, baby! Woo!
So yeah, I'm super pumped about this. I finished all the ink and all the most of the shadows and everything like that. So we're going to be using this one instead, because I think this shows just how menacing Oryx is and how big he is. So yeah. So let's actually go ahead and get started. I'm going to...
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Let's see. I'm going to share my screen. All right, and so we're going to be working mainly in Photoshop tonight. Just a full transparency. I am not an expert in Photoshop. And some of the stuff that I do, there might be way easier ways to do it. But I'm just going to do it ways that I have taught myself and learned. Cool, awesome, Chunk. I'm glad you like it, man. I like it way better than the other drawing that I did, so this is awesome. Comics Lacrosse out here giving me a night off. I know, man. He's shouting out everybody. Must know how to get the channel points as sound alerts. It's pretty amazing. Can somebody help Dilly-Rom? I think there's a way you can get this. Well, the sound alert app should be. You might have to be subbed. I don't know how that works. But there should be a sound alert app on the chat that should allow you to play all these sound alerts, or most of the sound alerts, for free. Thanks, Locke. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Chunk. I can't wait till he does mine. If there's any indication, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Remind me what yours was. Yeah, remind me what yours was, Caleb. Iron Man 4 Mark Armor. That's right, Hero Pose. Yeah, for my channel when I can. All right. So, again, we're going to be working on... Oh, let me just show you what I'm actually working on as well. So this is my Wacom. So this is plugged right into my computer. And... Cross, Again, that is for you. I put the sound alert on there just for you because I love you so much. The sound alert widget is top right of the chat in most formats. Yeah. All right. Let me see. Hit me up later, sir. In the process of setting up mine. Roger. All right. So this is what I'm gonna be using. This is my Wacom. This is my Wacom pad. It plugs directly into the computer, and I can manipulate the drawings on Photoshop with it. So this is what we're gonna be using. So let me go back to screen share. Let me actually, before we get started, let me just turn this up just a tad. There we go. Your Wacom is alright, so my Wacom is like 7 years old. It was one of the first gifts my wife got me when we got married, and we've been married 8 years in October. So it's probably 6-7 years old. It's not a bad thing that you to the Witcher. It's not bad that you like the bagpipes at all. Bagpipes are just, I think everybody, well, I don't know if everybody likes it. I can't speak for everybody, but if you don't like bagpipes, I can't trust you, you know? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Sounds like there's an elephant in my hallway. I heard a scoff, so I'm assuming it's my wife. First duty, man, chat is blowing up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of these items. So this is obviously Avatar Aang, the main one that I'm going to have in the middle of the drawing, and then his hands as a panel. And then we have Avatar Aang's head. This is the missing head that I was trying to find earlier. And the crown, which I'm not 100% sure I'm going to use a crown, but we shall see. You can't hear toss a coin. I don't hear your music, and I didn't hear that alert. That's awesome. All right, hold on. Fantastic. You know why? You know why? All right, hold on. I think it's... Man, you would think that I would have everything just buttoned up. Somebody try a free sound alert again. If you wouldn't mind. If you wouldn't mind. Read the chat. Sound alerts are not working. I got it. Calm your britches, bro. Calm your britches, dumpling. You like that? Let me know if you can hear that. Can you hear him? Hear him? Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yes. No. I just did, Cross. I think I just did. No sax. Daggone it. All right, hold on. All right, give me a second, guys. I will get this right in one stream. If the hair lips the governor. All right, hold on. No, Kroger, we don't. All right, I'm going to switch cameras real quick. Sorry, guys. Thank you for your patience as I work on these sound alerts yet again. I feel like this is a weekly occurrence here. Let's see, browser source. We'll do a new one. Boom. Browser source. It's John C. All right. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'm updating the... There we go. All right. So this should be... this should work. Please let me know if this works. Yes, we're using slobs. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see. Let's try one. Let me know if you can hear it.
Let's go, baby! Woo!
Everybody hear it? All right, can you hear the music? That's not the most important thing, but can you hear the music? Wow, that sound alert. Still no music for me. Alright. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it then. I'm going to turn off the music. If you can hear the alerts, then that's all I care about. Oh. It just got quiet. Well, then the music was working. I hate to tell you. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, there we go. Oh yeah, I have it down. I don't want it to be like obnoxious, so I have it super low. What the heck was that? I have no idea. I just found it and I was like, dude, that's hilarious. Alright, so let me get to work, okay? We've been talking about sound alerts for 20 minutes and my mustache and how I can't use the phrase dumpling, which I think I pulled off appropriately. I need to use some down deep south slang on Cross and blow his mind. Who calls me trash too for using I hate right? I meant Cross. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these individual items and we're going to clean them up. Alright, so the first one I'm going to work on is the hand. Hold on. Ooh, thanks for the host, Dilly Ron. Appreciate it, man. Alright, let me see. It's not registering this, so let me turn it on. There we go. There we go. Alright, cool. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer. Make sure I have chat up. Awesome. Alright, so I'm going to just do like a... Let's just do a 6x6 inch. Because basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out. So basically... Oops. Nope. I'm going to cut this out. Come on. Alright, I am awful with the Wacom. So if you're expecting anything else, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. So we're going to cut that. We're going to take it down just a tad. And we're going to clean it up a bit. So what I like to do on pencil drawings, because you can obviously tell this is a pencil drawing. Speaking of your mad art skills. Uh-oh. So if I redeem Cross reads, will Nitro do his best Scottish accent? You hear what I just did? I said Scottish in a semi, maybe, possibly Scottish accent. Make sure you check out my new Twitch Discord icon when you can. Okay, we'll do, man. We'll do. Alright, so the first thing I do on my pencil drawings is I go to image and I go to adjustment and I change the levels on it. So it looks like a dark gray pencil drawing, right? So what you do, if you change this a bit, it'll change it to where it almost looks like ink, and that's what I want. That's what I want. And then you can see the background where the paper was. You can just do a magic wand on that and remove that. And now you have almost a perfect line art drawing for pen. Now, obviously, I have rocks in there. I need to clean those up and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, it might have been more British. I'm going to get so much crap for Cross for doing that from Cross. Make sure you check out. But I'm not there to judge. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, so... yeah, so let me get the pen out. Oh. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I'm here to judge. Thanks, Watson. I appreciate it. I didn't give you a shout out, man. What's up, Watson? Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it. Love you, dude. Alright, let me, I gotta zoom in over here. Alright, we'll minimize the brush size. Now, like, for like some of these stray lines, I don't really care about them. Like, I'm not gonna get too in the weeds with all this stuff. But like that, I need to fix that, and I need to kind of remove this. And just get some of these lines out here. I might redraw some of these lines. And then what I'm going to do is put a border around this because this is supposed to be one of the comic panels. So, you aren't honest? I'm not honest. I'm not sure that's wise, all things considered. If you're afraid to judge, you're afraid to be honest. Where did the Beekaboo Crew sound go? I took it off just for tonight. No, I didn't. It's on the. It should be on the Sound Alerts app. I totally understand if the answer is no, but is it okay if I share pictures? Yeah, dude. Go ahead. Go for it. Yeah, I'm gonna check that icon out when I can, Lock. Alright, so like up here, I need to like redraw some of this. So I got my black going, so we're just gonna come in here. There we go. And then for the thumb, I'm gonna erase this and kind of. There we go. There it is. Thank you, Caleb, for the Titanic flute. As always, the much appreciated sound alert of the channel. Thanks to Co-op Trio for initiating us to that. That was fun. Alright, so I think that's all I'm going to do. Well, let me just update this real quick. I'm a little OCD with stuff, but... Alright, so now what I want to do is I'm going to add basically a panel. Now I want this to be a large, like an elongated panel. I'm going to make the border like 20 points. Nope, not 2. 20. Really? Alright, my number pad, keypad's not working for some reason. So. There we go. Alright, so let me move it over. Alright, so that's what it's basically going to look like. That's the panel. Maybe might bring it in just a tad. So, yeah. So that's what it's going to look like, basically. Now that I've done that one, let's do the avatar head. So we're going to do the same thing with this. Let me see, I'm missing some of the chat. Sorry, guys. I feel like it's a little more complex than the Co-op Trio podcast. Thanks, dude. Mood music, it's the best. You're not welcome. Did you draw your new icon? Negative, that was all Nitro. Which one? Oh! Oh! That's the icon you're talking about. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. I was like, oh, I don't know which icon you're talking about, but got it. Yeah, I had to make Locke look like a freaking beast. Because he is a freaking beast. I mean, let's be honest. If that's the one that you're talking about. If it's not, just ignore what I just said. Just ignore it. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Alright, so with this one, we're going to do the same thing. So if we go to image, adjustment, levels, we're going to bring this up a bit so it's a bit darker. So again, it looks like ink. And you can see, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see my finger, but you can still see around here, it's like the remnants of basically the paper. Now this one, we're going to have to do probably a little bit more cleanup because I had to redraw his eyes like 400 times. Like you can still see the paper texture in here a tad. So I'm going to remove that. I'm not going to go nuts on it, but... And like
it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Let's see. Let's see. What's up, Robbie? Thanks for stopping in, man. Somebody shout out Robbie at Infinity Bros. Please, I would appreciate it. All right, so let's see. First Oryx is amazing, but this one's blowing up. Oh yeah, man, appreciate it. I really appreciate it, man. I was hoping you would like it. I was like, man, I know we drew this on stream, but I wasn't really feeling it. It didn't really convey what we were trying to convey. So I wanted to kind of redo it because he needs to exhibit like that scale, that size, because he's freaking like, you know, 300 feet tall. See, do a hot tub stream before he does. Yeah, what's up with all these hot tub streams, man? It's kind of weird. I'm gonna erase this. All right, now I'm gonna need to close these rocks because they're gonna be coloring these, and if we're gonna be using a paint bucket tool, then it's gonna fill the entire background. So, all right, let's see. Now I might not keep all these rocks the way that they look, but just for right now, I'm just gonna close them in. Close in Aang's eyebrow. And the cool thing about Photoshop is if, like for instance, and this is kind of cheating, but I don't, you know, whatever. Got to give the people what they want. More cowbell, exactly. All right, so let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to mirror this. It's kind of cheating, but ask me if I care. I don't, because the end goal is to make a sweet looking piece. So I was having a lot of trouble with his eye. So, and again, for those of you who did not catch this, I am not a Photoshop expert. Let me just make sure that the eyes are even. I feel like I need to rotate this one just a tad. I'm not a Photoshop expert. I've learned things through trial and error that may or may not be the best way to do them. So if you see me doing something that is very counterintuitive, feel free to call it out, but you know, I probably won't change. Let's be honest. Coop is getting extra mean and sassy on Tuesday night. I know, it has to be my stream, right, Coop? Can't you be nice? Alright, let's see. Alright, come on now. Oh, I gotta merge down this layer because I copied the eye. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna just change this just a tad. We're gonna fill in the nose with the black. Oh, little sax man. Little sax man. There we go. Thank you, Mountain Nerds. Alright, come in here with a little bit of a little too much. That's a bit much. Alright, so I think that's good. So again, we're gonna do the same thing with this. I want this to be an elongated horizontal panel now. So we're gonna just eyeball it. It's obviously not exactly where we want it, but we need to change the border size to 20. Cool. So that's basically what I'm looking at. Maybe move it down just a tad. Maybe that border down just a tad. Alright, cool. Now, I'm going to make this disappear. Actually, no, I'm not. So I'm going to erase his shoulders because we don't need those. Nobody needs shoulders. We don't need no stinky shoulders. Alright, let's see. Alright, I'm going to fill in some of the gaps that I'm seeing. And maybe finish this rock. Let me see. High seas calm him super good. It's because I've been having a horrible day, so I'm venting. It's all good, man. Vent away, bro. Vent away. It's just a shame we're about to skyrocket to fame, dude. I took a class when I was in college, and one of the 3 programs that taught us was Photoshop, and I barely understood it. It's definitely there's a lot in Photoshop, but if you can just focus on the stuff that you need it for, you can get pretty decent at it. Seriously, sorry you had a rough day, Coop. Yeah, man. Sorry, bro. Sorry you're having a crappy day. Vent away, my friend. Vent away. We are your therapy session. Alright, so we're gonna see. Do we need any more rocks? Is that showing what I want to show? So we have this, and then we have this. Is that showing what I want to show? Alright, with the stinking commercials. Alright, I get it. Oh, we know your sass is all I love. Alright, so let's do the next one. For the next one, we're also just gonna do another 6x6. Actually, let me save these before I forget. So we'll save these as Aang. Oops, Aang hands. There we go. And we'll save this as Aang head. Such original save file names. Alright, so the next one is this crown, which I'm not 100% sure I'm going to use or not, but we'll just cut it out anyways. And we'll just edit it just in case. Alright. Oh, well, thank you. No, you. No, you. Everybody. Not just you, but everybody. Yeah. Let me see.
Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know, Robbie. That's a good question. It's a good question, man. All right, so we were going to change the levels again. Let me turn the music up now that the commercials are over, I hope. Nope, don't like that. There we go. All right, so we're going to change the light a bit so it's a little bit darker. All right, cool. I think that's good. And we're going to, again, with a magic eraser, I'm going to remove everything that we don't need. All right, now I'm going to have to do a lot of cleanup on this because there's a lot of gaps in the, let's get the eraser. There's a lot of gaps in the crown. Now, that is incredibly loud, but that's on purpose, so appreciate it, Caleb. We're all these free sound bites. So Chunk, if there should be a sound alerts app in the top right-hand corner of chat. I don't know the specifics as far as when that appears or how it appears, but I think if you're following our channel or subbed, you should be. That's fair. That's fair. Thanks, Cross, for that. Appreciate it. But yeah, you should have a sound alerts app at the top of your screen. You should be able to see it. You should be able to play all those for free. All right, so I'm going to erase some of this in here. Let me zoom in just a tad. Nope.
But I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
I love it. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Taylor add $1.30 for us. I wanted to, man. I wanted to so bad. Okay, I'll have to get it out on my laptop. All right, let's see. All right, so I think other than this little gap right here, I think, oh, there's one right there too. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use this, but let me rotate it just a tad so it's straight. All right. So I'm going to save this as Oryx's crown. Oryx. Now comes the big daddy. So we're going to edit Oryx. So I'm going to close these out because I don't need these anymore. All right, I don't need these anymore. All right, so here's Oryx. So I have an awful scanner. It's really tiny. Let me see. I spent a while adding a ton to mine today and struggle because I don't want them to be like, yeah, not safe for work. Yeah. Purple icon. Yep. Yeah, thanks for popping by, Daily Ron. Appreciate it, man. Let me see. Did you add the knock? No, I didn't.
And his name is John C.
All right. So this one, again, I had to scan this in two passes. So you can see it's split right down the middle because my scanner sucks. So now I'm going to have to do a lot of cleanup on this. But the first thing that I want to do is change the levels. So I'm going to bring it in here because if you can see, this was a Sharpie, right? And it obviously looks awful. So I want to come in here and make it almost completely black. Not quite, because I can come up in here with actually, I'll do it just a little bit.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Let's see. So that looks way better. So you can see that the thing is almost gone right here. There's a little blurriness right here, which again, I can fix. That's not a problem. So let us... All right, let's start kind of at the top. I'm not going to make this thing look perfect as far as cleanup wise, but I'm going to clean up as much as I can. So like all my sketchy lines. Like when I draw, it's super loose and super sketchy. Not sketchy as in like, dude, you're sketchy, but sketchy as in like, oh, that looks kind of sketchy, you know? All right, let's see. All right, and I tried to paint in his eyes because I colored in them and I didn't mean to. So that like gray stuff right there is actually white paint, believe it or not. All right, let's see. All right, again, I'm not trying to make this perfect. I'm just trying to get it better than it is right now. And you know, he is a alien slash monster, so a little imperfection is not a bad thing. We'll talk. Knock is the worst, dude. It really is. I know it's coming, and it still freaks me out. Freaking stereo. Woo. There we go. There we go. Should I dance like Cross? I'm gonna dance like Cross. I love you, Cross. Alright, so once we get past this cleaning part, the most of it is just going to be coloring and layering on of textures, which I think that's one of my favorite parts. Is so like you can get a texture, like if I took a picture of like some rocks or a close-up of some skin, I can import that into Photoshop and overlay that on an image. Like if I'm coloring someone's skin, I can overlay the texture of the skin and then work on the colors and it looks like real skin. Now I'm not like that great at coloring, but it is a cool effect that you can do. Not really cheating per se, it's just utilizing the tools that Photoshop provides. So I will utilize the tools to the full advantage. I'm actually, instead of doing this with an eraser, I'm just gonna come in here and bam, do that. I'm just gonna come in here and bam, bam. All right, I need to stop saying that. So deselect. All right. So let me see if a paint bucket tool is going to work. If I can drop some black in here. Here we go. Let me see if that is too bad. That doesn't look that bad. Oh, it colored all down here too. Sweet. All right. So that's awesome. So I want this just to be completely pitch black. Oops. Because I don't want you to focus on the bottom of him at all. I want everything. And plus, Aang is going to be right around here. So I want everybody eyes drawn to Aang first and then to this dude. That's the goal from a composition standpoint. Thanks for the alert, Robbie. Blink it, Spider-Man redeem, take a drink. Oh, there we go. Thanks, bro. Sorry about that. Dink it, blink it, dink it, drink it. There we go.
Why are you the way that you are?
It's just because I'm just amazing. I'm an amazing human being, and you know, not enough people realize that. It's okay though. I'm coming to terms with the fact, and you know, it is what it is.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
So yeah, I worked on this. So I got the idea for this because I saw a close-up image of Oryx with two guardians like super close to him, and all you could see was basically from here up, and the guardians were like this big. So I was like, dude, that's sweet. So I kind of took the image that I saw and kind of made it my own. So, nope, stop. All right, let's see if we can do some magic wand up in here. Let's see if this is going to take too much away. There we go. Again, I'm not trying to make this perfect. I just want to erase all the like hardcore straight line. There we go. Thanks for that, Chunk. These are the facts. Thanks, Locke. Appreciate it, man. See, I got some support in the chat. If Sora were here, he would change sides again and say that he likes Cross more, you know, because that's what he does. That's just what he does. He tried to backpedal last night and crossplay, and I was like, no, man, you gotta own it. You gotta own that you backstabbed me in front of everyone, and you gotta sit with that. You gotta live with that. You gotta live with it, Sora. Okay? I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. Not even a little bit. Oh, man. Alright, let me get close in on these teeth, because these teeth have to be on point. Every time I toss a coin is played, I think my phone is ringing. That's your ringtone. Living up to that Oblivion part of his name. Alright, let's see. So... Alright, let's see. I don't want to mess these teeth up, because I think I got them as good as I can get them. Because I didn't want them to be like monstrously huge, because they're actually not sharp at all in the game. I just thought they looked sweet or sharp. So that's my own spin on it, Chunk. I think they're actually like flat, if I'm not mistaken. At least from what I saw. So this is my own little spin on Oryx, what I think he actually should look like. And I actually changed his armor up just a tad as well. It's still reminiscent of the game armor. Get out of here. Still reminiscent of the game armor. But I made it just a tad simpler, just so, you know. You know. Alright. There we go. So just cleaning up these teeth just a tad. And we're going to be coming, again, we're going to be coming in here a little later. We'll be coloring all this and doing a little bit of shading. I'm not going to go nuts with the shading, honestly. It'll probably be more of a cell shaded type thing. But I definitely still want to add like the lighting, directional lighting, all that stuff in here. So we will definitely be hopefully working on that tonight if we can get to it. During the Oryx boss, you should only see him. Yeah, you would only see him from the chest up. Gotcha. Lock steady. Lock. My brother, thank you for the host. Appreciate it, man. Alright, I'm going to fill in some of these black. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I think when Chunk and I were originally talking about this, Chunk, I think originally you were wanting to show like an action pose with this, but I think I talked you out of it. Because I thought it would be much sweeter of an image if you just saw them in a face-off. And just so you could just see the difference in their size. And thankfully you bought it. But man, I think it's gonna turn out good, man. Alright, so I think I'm good with the teeth for right now. They're not absolutely 100% perfect, but that's okay. Oops, straight out. Let's undo that. Alright, let me just get some of these lines under control. Alright, now let's come up here. Just do some of these. Some of this. Oh, it's all good, man. I appreciate you doing it anyways. Alright. Let's just go down the line. Alright, now I'm debating on the size of this piece. I know I originally said 16. Alright, so I know I originally said 16 by 20, which I think I still might make it 16 by 20. I'm gonna erase this because this was a pencil line that I never actually inked, that I didn't want to ink. So I'm gonna just erase this.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Let's see. Alright, let me see if I can do a magic wand in here, because this one's pretty gnarly. There we go. Sweet. It worked. Well, for the most part.
Kroger, everything we sell is
Kroger?
guaranteed fresher than fresh.
No.
Our associ-
All right. Let's see where we're at. Stop. All right, let's come in here and delete some of this. Delete some of that. Delete some of that. Delete some of that. And delete that. All right, cool. All right. So we're going to come in here and edit some of these lines on the collar. I don't know if it's collar. And I put wings on them. I'm not 100% on the wings, just to be 100% honest with you guys, but I'm going to keep them just for right now, and if I don't like them, I'll take them out. Because I don't want it to get confusing as far as where his armor stops and, you know, all that stuff, so. All right, let me just erase some of these stray lines. Yeah, so you can see all the pencil lines in here where I forgot to erase them. There we go. Let me turn and see if... Nope, it's lows. There we go. All right. Let's erase some of these lines. There we go. A lot of pencil lines that I forgot to erase. Dude, posted the new comic I ordered in Discord. You need to check it out when you get off stream. All right, sweet, man. I finished Spencer and Locke today. Really intense. I got to read it a couple more times before we review it on Sunday, but dude, the artwork is awesome. And the way that he composes shots is fantastic. All right, let's see. Yeah, and I tried to paint this too. As you can see, it looks kind of muddy and gray. That's why. All right, now I need to come in here and kind of unblurry some of these things. And by doing that, and how to do that is you're going to remove some of the gray, because what's making it look blurry is there's just like, it's like a gray wash almost. See? So that's most of the blur is already gone. Alright, so I need to, so in order to like remove some of the blur, you just have to sharpen the line. And it doesn't have to be perfect because of what he is. Like a lot of the armor that he wears is like, some of the edges are amorphous. They're not like hard edges. Some of them, like, they go up and down. There's crags, there's nooks and crannies and stuff like that. So which is good for me because my hand's not that steady. So we can come over here and kind of erase some of this like blown out line right here. Oh, thanks for the sub, Isaac. Appreciate it, bro. Oh man, you're too much, bro. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. My art is the best art out of all the art. That's a profound statement. I really appreciate it. You need to tell my art teacher in college then, because they didn't seem to think so. I'm not bitter or anything. It was probably the ripped jeans. They just didn't like the ripped jeans. I don't blame them. I was a little punk. All right, let's see. Come in here again. I know I've said this like 48 times, but I'm not trying to make it perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect, because a lot of this stuff is not going to matter, because you're not even going to notice it, because we're going to color it. Rip jeans, yes. Rip. Play rip. Anybody want to put the rips in the chat for the jeans that I wore? The rip jeans. I actually had, so for those of you who do not know, a little personal info about me. I went to a Christian college, a very, 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 very strict Christian college.
Oh God!
That was the perfect time for that sound alert.
No!
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right, so I went to a very strict Christian college, somewhere in the South. And that's all I'm going to say. Somewhere in the South of the United States, rather, because I know we have some international listeners here. And so we had a dress code, obviously. Maybe Christian college, you have a dress code, especially, you know, a Baptist Christian college. Again, that's all I'm going to say. All right, get off. Get off. All right, get off. All right, there we go. Sorry. And so I didn't have a ton of money in college, so I wore these. I was really into corduroys in college for some reason, like really big legged opening in the legs corduroys. So we had to wear pants. Obviously, we had to wear pants. Everybody had to wear pants there, except the girls. They had to wear skirts. But so we had to wear pants, not jeans, but pants, like dress pants. So mine were like corduroys. But I like to wear my jeans a little long, so they were ripped on the bottom, right near the shoe. No, that was free jeans. It's okay. It was perfect. It was perfect timing. So I had rips in the bottom of my corduroys, and I was walking through the art building to my next class, my next art class, and one of the teachers, the art teachers who kind of ran the art school, basically grabbed me by the back of the shirt and pulled me into his office and basically railed on me for my jeans. So that was fun. That was a long story, and I have no idea why I just told it. But I think, Isaac, you reminded me of my art school when you said that. Just really, really nice compliment. So again, I appreciate it. We also had just a little bit more about me. Since we're talking about me, it's all about me, right? That's what I'm gonna say. Continues to say more. I know, right? I say that a lot. I know. You derailed my train of thought, Watson. Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh well, it's all good. Doesn't matter. Like my grandfather used to say, if you don't remember what you're gonna say, it must not have been important. All right. He also said if you like someone, you pick on them, which I guess that's kind of true. My wife doesn't seem to think so, because I've tried that, and she's not a huge fan. All right, let's see. Come in here. All right, I think we are almost done. Yeah, I'm gonna come in here and kind of mess with this a bit, because I'm not a huge fan of this white, so I'm just gonna color over it. No, Nitro, I'm not an atheist. Are you an artist for your day-to-day job, or is this just a hobby, if you don't mind? No, I don't mind you asking. I work in IT industry, so I use a totally different part of my brain during the day. I just do this because I like to do it. You are the content, Nitro. Yes. Yes. I would have punched that teacher in the face. Well, then I would have been sent home, and I would have had to deal with my mother. My very strict conservative Southern, or independent Baptist rather, mother. And that would have been worse. That would have definitely been worse. So, she's the type of mom who, if I would have come home with an ear piercing, she would have ripped it out. Well, she says she would have ripped it out. I think she actually, I don't know if she would have or not, but she would have acted like she was gonna. I hit your Discord DMs. You guys like stop hitting me. Yeah, we do rip on each other. It's all good. Like I was saying on Sunday though, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's being raised by my mom, because I was raised by, it was just me and my mom, because my brother was 8 years older than me, so he was kind of out of the house. And she's a super sensitive person. She cries at like the drop of a hat. So I don't know if it's because of that, or in part due to that, but I have a very strong guilt complex. It does not take much to make me feel guilty. And a lot of times it's not even the person making me feel guilty. It's just my stuff. All right, what just happened? No, I don't want to manage my notifications. All right, let me save this real quick before my computer craps out. All right, let me close Photoshop. All right, let's reopen this because Photoshop was freaking out. Traumas? Yes. So Caffeine Rush grew up with me, and my grandmother was very, very Southern. And my brother's name was, for those of you who don't know, my name is Thomas. So my brother's name was Troy. And she got mixed up a lot, so she just called me Traumas. That was my permanent name from my grandmother from years 65 on up until she passed. So, let me see. Yeah, most is operative for it. My wife rips on me all the time. There are exceptions. If you're more than good enough to make a career out of it, I appreciate it, man. I think girls can rip on guys, vice versa as well, but girls don't rip on girls that much. They're more passive-aggressive most of the time. My wife sees how my friends and I treat each other. Yeah, Nitro is actually on my birth certificate, but I go by Nitro. No. Fun fact. When AOL Instant Messenger first came out, my first screen name was Nitrogen B. So I've had this for... It's been 82 years. No, not 82 years, but it's been a while. I've had it for a long time. So it's basically Nitrogen B for everything. Nitro is my middle name, yes. Trauma emote. Mama Halls is terrifying, that's why we didn't pick on her. Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot about the music. Shoot. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna erase this white. Shoot, stop. Erase this white. Alright, I'm gonna close this eye. Because again, if we're gonna color this, it's gonna not look that great. Come in here, just move some of these stray lines. We're almost done. Hey, just want to pause and say thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. I really appreciate it.
Mozambique!
Mozambique! Fun fact, I recorded that in a coffee can. So, there's that. Alright, I'm going to try to do... Erase that. And do the same thing here. So I can remove all that like gray, like washy stuff. Shout out to Good Kid Dad for the playlist, the Spotify playlist. The royalty-free playlist, I should add. Not gonna get me, Twitch. Oh, forgot this pencil over here. Alright, let's erase this. Get beaked! Oh yeah, dude, we gotta do the logo. Get beaked! And we gotta use the same font as Apex. And I'll have a silhouette of the Mozambique. Get beaked! For those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, we're gonna actually create a shirt and a logo. Because we are the BCW crew. So Mozambique pistol for Apex holds a special place in our heart. So we're gonna create a t-shirt at some point when I have the time. After these 438 12-hour commissions. No, I like doing these. These are really cool because it gets me out of my creative comfort zone. Alright, I think I'm pretty much there. Let me just go down here and see if there's anything I need to change. Oh, nope, don't like that. What's a Neo freaking spider? So stoked for it. You smexy son of a gun. Well, if Luxetti stops hitting you, I'll start. That's gonna be a baller shirt. I know, dude. I'm pretty pumped. Thanks, Isaac. All right. I think we're almost there. I know I keep saying that. We're almost there. Just kind of a perfectionist, so. Does anybody on here use Marco Polo? There's a video messaging app. It's called Marco Polo. Some of my friends that live locally and I started using it. Cross and I use it too. It's a really cool app if you've never used it. Because we used to use GroupMe, but then Marco Polo came out and it was free. And I really like it. I use it on a daily basis. Just a shout out for an app that's not paying us at all. That's a really cool app. David Hasselhoff. That one, yeah. I have it. The only one I ever used it with was Billy Rum, and he quit because he had message rat. Nice. Yeah, I love it, man. I use it all the time. Now, they did recently sell out, and a lot of the stuff that was once free on their app is no longer free. But the base uses for it still exist. Or the basic uses for it still exist, so it's still sweet. Caffeine Rush is in the chat, and I use it on a daily basis. Again, he's a friend I grew up with, so. And Cross and I use it on a daily basis. Well, not a daily basis, maybe on a semi-daily basis. All right, let me deselect that, and we're gonna come over here and edit this.
At Kroger,
No,
everything
no,
we sell is
Kroger, no.
guaranteed.
I'm gonna edit this. And then I'll erase some of the fuzziness. Come in here. It's really hard to draw steady lines in Photoshop just because the pen is so sensitive with this Wacom. There we go. Alright, let's come over here and erase this thing, because I don't like that. Nope, don't like that. Alright, let's see. Just come in here and just darken these up just a tad. Make sure these edges are clean, or cleaner, rather. Because this is going to be so big, 16 by 20, this close, you're never going to be this close up. All right, cool. We're good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that. I'm going to create a new canvas. So it's going to be, let's do inches. 16 width. Nope. Man, come on, number pad. Nope, not 12. 16 by 20. And resolution, let's just do 300 pixels. All right, so this is the size. This is going to be a size of 16 inches by 20 inches, which is just gigantic. You have your Spider-Man framed professionally, or did you do it yourself, if you don't mind me asking? Just a shout out for Walmart frames. Walmart frames are not that bad, and they're like 10 to 15 bucks. Just gonna throw that out there. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start planning the composition. So I'm going to take this dude, and I'm going to put him into this. So you can see right off the bat that I drew on an 11 by 14. So it's not going to take up the whole page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this Joker a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. There we go. And I'm going to fill in the drawing on the left-hand side. So basically, he's taking up the whole drawing is what I'm trying to get at. because again, I want to convey the size that he has. So let's come in here and erase some of these stray lines. And we're gonna redraw his horn head, whatever it's called, his crown. Redraw some of his armor. All right, my Photoshop just froze up. All right, let me save this. All right, I gotta close out my Photoshop. Sometimes it freezes up. It's dumb. All right, let's try this again. All right, let's try this again. All right, so I'm gonna basically turn the canvas a little bit and zoom in, and I'm gonna redraw some of the stuff that didn't exist, basically. So just have this continue to come in here. And I wanted to make it look like it was there already. So like little sketchy lines. Actually, that is too thick of a line. So let me take the brush down just a little bit. The goal is you want the drawing to go off the page so it looks like it always existed there. It looks like you're basically trying to get a snapshot of something that wasn't there, you know, if that makes sense. All right, so we're gonna come in here. Nope, I want the pen. Yeah, there we go. So basically we're gonna come in here and kind of go up. Stop. This Wacom is freaking out. Come in here with some of the hatch marks like I have right there. So now when we come back out, it looks like it existed, you know? And then what we can do is we can just take the paint bucket and bam, fill it, and we're good. So let me save that. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up Aang and the accoutrements of the drawing. Pulling a flamingo reference. Yes, I'm gonna add a flamingo emblem on Oryx's chest, because that's how I see him. Alright, I'm not gonna put the crown on Oryx, I'm just not feeling it. So what I'm gonna do with this, you'll see how I create layers. I'm gonna copy both the rectangle and the hands and copy them over to here. Now, actually, let me reverse that. Oops, let me redo that. So I need to come in here and fill these with white. Actually, you know what? Let me redo that. Alright, so what I'm trying to do, that scared the ever-loving poop out of me. That was awesome. That's not frightening at all. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to color behind this.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I love that. Dude, funny story. When I went to get my arm done, I was trying to talk to the artist about just like art in general, and we had a little couple good conversations and stuff like that. And then it kind of died because he was into some music that I really wasn't into, and you know, I was just kind of letting him do his thing. And then him and another artist in the shop started quoting The Office, like quoting Office memes. I'm like, dude, you like The Office? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, we're best friends now. We're best friends. That was the flamingo in Oryx's chest. Alright, so this, let me go to the Aang head too. going to color these in. I'm just going to do it this way. There we go. That's much easier. Alright, let me delete this layer because we don't need it. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take these two layers and we're going to copy them onto the Oryx drawing. See, now that is more like it. So, bagpipes should scare you. Alright, so I'm just going to leave this over here and I'm actually going to create a group. Let's see, group. This is Aang. I don't know why I capitalized that. Alright, so now I have a collapsible folder. Actually, I'm going to name that Aang's hands. Aang hands. So now we can come over here and get Aang's head. So we'll copy the rectangle and his head. Bring him over here. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't. So we need to create a new group from this. Aang head. Alright, so we're gonna bring this up top, and if we expand it, shoot, I didn't want to do that. Alright, let me try something real quick. Deselect this. I'm gonna erase this line real quick. So hopefully you can kind of see what I'm trying to go for here. I want it to kind of have like a comic book feel. So like I want it to feel like these are actual comic book panels. Like this is a boss fight in a comic. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so I can move that around at will, but one thing that we forgot to do is edit Aang. So we are going to do that right now. So let me... Forgot all about Aang. Is Aang's head meant to be transparent outside of the border? Outside of the square, yes. Alright, so I'm going to have to do some redrawing on this. Quite a bit of redrawing. I totally forgot about Aang. So what we're going to do is do another 6x6 and paste Aang in there. Let's kind of scale him down just a tad so he fits on here. Alright, cool. And then again, we're going to do the same thing that we were doing with the other ones. We'll adjust the levels, make it look like ink. There we go. Bob's your uncle. Alright, remove all of the stuff. It's a rap parody I'd like to hear. Forgot about Aang. Alright, let's erase this big black line that's there for whatever reason. I think it was just... I didn't need my ears anymore. Thanks for that. I'm assuming that was Cross. No, that was Neo. Thanks, Neo. Appreciate it, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the bagpipe sound effect, Cross. Like I said, I did it just for you, man. And Neo, I'm glad you're enjoying it too, man. I didn't want to leave you out. Alright, I'm gonna just erase straight through that. Erase any of the lines that don't belong there, like that one. That one. That one. Why does that sound so loud? It's meant to be that loud. It's meant to just make your ears bleed. It's pretty racist. Well, I mean, you have played it like 4 times already, so. Which I'm okay with. That sounded really negative. I didn't even mean it like that. You played as much as you want to, dude. Alright. Alright, let's see. Got a lot of stray pencil lines in here that I need to get rid of. Especially this, because this is supposed to be a rock. Alright, now let me draw some of the rock back. Oops, nope, I need black. Nitro, I gotta go stream now. Oh, I appreciate it, Watson. Have a good stream, man. If you're still streaming, we might shoot you some a raid. Scotland surround sound, right? Traitor. It's like the entire nation of Scotland is playing in my ears. That's awesome. It's probably one of the funniest things I've read all day. Fun fact, Caffeine Rush. Nobody help him in chat. What is the, without looking it up, what is the national animal of Scotland? Go on. I'll give you a few seconds. Yeah, it's a unicorn. So you're probably one of 3 people in the United States that knew that. Alright, let's
Introducing the Lowe's list. While there's innovation in every aisle.
plus it's in your intro. Well, shoot. You're totally right, it is. Daggone it.
Control your home with a touch.
Daggone it. Well, that didn't work out, did it? I forgot the kaiju poop and the unicorn in the intro. Alright, Lowe's. Nobody wants to hear about you. Nobody's buying lumber on this chat. Well, not right now, anyways. Alright, let's see. Alright, so the goal is to obviously make these rocks look like they're going in a pattern. Oh, that's awful looking. Looks like that rock has legs. Let's redo that. Nope. There we go. Alright, so we need a big rock right here. No, I don't like that line. Then we can come down here. There we go. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. All right. That was Benita from Co-op. What sport was invented in Scotland? Wasn't it? Oh, this was in the trivia game. Wasn't it? I forgot. I'm gonna get it wrong. Any guess I get, it's gonna be wrong. I think the obvious answer would be golf, but I don't think that's it. Alright, I think that's good. So merge down. So I'm gonna erase all of the white outside of Aang. And I'm gonna put him right there. So this is where it gets cool. So let me pull him on the top. Aang body. So let me minimize the head and the hands. So what's cool about doing grouping is I don't have to individually select each layer. Like I can just select Aang head and just move the whole thing around. And then Aang hands, move the whole thing around. Like wherever we want it. So for Aang's body, let's try to find a rough placement for him. So if you can see, I kind of want to be right there. And I actually kind of like that size. I want it right about that size. The golf with the hoops, golf, hay bale tossing. Alright, so I need to figure out a way. I think I want to put Aang's head. I want to make it bigger. And then his hands, I want to bring them over. Bring his head down. Sorry, I'm just trying to play with the composition a bit. I'm not sure where I want this. I want it almost like a manga. Let's see, the hands. Excuse me. Alright, I'm gonna do something real quick. So I'm gonna make this a little bit longer. And I'll fill in. Nope, that didn't work. All right, let me. All right, I'm just gonna color this in real quick. Okay, let me. I'm gonna take the transparency down on this just so I can see where I'm coloring. Everything's so dark. It's just so dark. Dude, my Wacom pen is getting worked tonight. Alright, let me pull the transparency back up. Alright, cool. So, this is roughly what I'm thinking. Let me move Aang's head down just a tad. Actually, I really need to think about this placement. I was an expert at Rockchild. He was also an expert at shooting his brother in the face with a BB gun. I'm just going to throw that out there. Put one right through the back window of my mom's car. Nitro actually might have been there. I don't remember that. I do not remember that. I'm trying to really figure out where I want this. I mean, I think I really like it right there, but I don't want to draw away from. I might actually hide him for right now, and hide him. The only thing about drawing the stuff independently from the main piece is that it might not fit like exactly how you want it. Let me see if nope. All right. Let me see if this is it. Nope. Alright, well, I'll just draw it then. I'm not sure why there's white there. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, bro. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to start coloring this dude. So what I'm gonna start, I'm gonna actually create a new layer, and I'm gonna paint the background. So I'm going to remove the background from him. And I'm going to create a gradient. Now, let's change the paint bucket to a gradient tool. And let's choose some colors that I think look sweet. Actually, I have something that I think might work better. Alright, I'm going to use this texture. I downloaded some textures before we started that I think would look kind of cool. Oops. Nope, don't want that. Let me unlock the layer so I can copy it. Alright, so copy and paste. So what we're going to do is we are going to, and this might not work, I'm just going to test it real quick. Alright, now let me stretch this out. So what we can do is you can kind of multiply it down. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't like that. So the goal is to have it in the background. So obviously I need to remove some of this. I appreciate it, Cross. Thanks, man. I was an expert at putting my mom's car on drive in a steep driveway, so it rolled into a busy street with my mom inside. Dude, I don't remember that at all. That's hilarious. Alright, I'm just going to erase the background on the face, because we don't want it on the face, obviously. Oops, I erased a little too much. And then on the body, obviously. So I just want to give it like the background, kind of like an atmosphere to it. And I've got different textures for like his skin and his armor. Like I've got metal textures for the armor that I think would look kind of cool, that we can kind of play with. And then I've got like, I found some really cool like rhino skin textures that I think we can kind of play with, and I'll show you what I mean in a sec. So let's just removing all of the color out of this. And I can fix those gaps, those white gaps that you see. So that's basically where I want to start. So I think on this Oryx painting there's some white up here that we want to kind of get rid of. Yeah, there we go. I thought I was white. There we go. All right, cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the saturation down on that just a tad, or the brightness. No, I want the brightness up, sorry. Actually, no. I want the saturation, which was my original. So saturation, I'm just going to take it down just a tad. And then I'm actually still going to do a gradient, because I wanted to go from light to dark. So, yep, that's not what I want. I think I need to get a new layer. So let me do a new layer. I'll put it up here, and on that layer, we'll do light to dark. Nope, not that way. But then you can multiply it down. Actually, no, I don't want to do that either. Sorry, I'm thinking as I'm going. So actually, there's a thing called dodge and burn. So let's do a little bit of burn. Burn is basically your darkening part of an image. Let me think. Yeah, so let's do a little bit of burning on the bottom right by his wings. Because I want that. Well, no, that's not what I want. Because yeah, I want the contrast by his head. So I think it might be dark enough. So let's do a little dodging then. So which is what makes it lighter. As an expert, Nitro, that wasn't me. That was Chunk that wrote that. Oh, my bad. I was like, I don't remember being in the car or seeing you leaving your mom in the car and just rolling into the street. Dude, that blue makes art pop so much. Appreciate it, man. Alright, so I'm going to hide this for right now. And we're just going to come in and we're going to start playing with some colors. So I'm actually, what I like to do is I like to put an image on top of the image that I'm painting, because you can pull colors from it. So you can do an eyedropper, like you can do like an eyedropper type thing and pull colors from it. So if I want to come in here and do, all right, let's see. So if we want to make, nope, that's not what I want. Actually, let me see something. Let me create a different layer. So Oryx is just going to have a ton of layers. So let me group these. Yeah, it's going to take a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, which is not a bad thing. I just want to make sure it's done right. All right, so we're going to multiply this layer down.
Jump into summer savings this Memorial.
No, I won't. I refuse. That's not what I want. I want to... No, I'm just going to color it. I'm not going to do the eyedropper thing. I thought I was going to do that, but I'm not. So, let's see. No, so I want this color to be down here. So this is going to be on the bottom of his, like, whatever you want to call this thing. And then, so what happens when light hits a subject? The darker the part of the subject, the less saturation the color is going to have. So when I do the top part of this, where the light is hitting, because the light's coming basically that direction, kind of. So you can see there's more shadow on here, so it's basically shining down like that. So when you have stuff in the light, then the saturation is going to be higher. So it's going to be a much more vivid of a, and this is not really a maroon color per se, but whatever color this is, whatever color this is, it's going to be a much more intense, lighter, more saturated version of this color. So, and I'm basically just laying down the base colors right now, and then I'll come in and add highlights and kind of some shadows and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm not gonna, my goal is not to make this look 3D rendered. I'm not really good at that. So I'm gonna go for more of like a cell shaded type look on this dude. So, all right, let's come in here and just finish coloring this bottom part. And his eyes are green, so I'm really pumped about drawing that part because I'm gonna make them glow. Thanks, Chunk. It really is. Dude, take as much time as you need because people are loving. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are liking it. I enjoy working on this stuff. It's cool when, like, because a lot of times I'll get to a point in a drawing where I'm like, man, this really sucks. But I want to keep going because I've spent so much time on it. But like on this one, I'm like, dude, I really like this. Like, I haven't even beaten Destiny, and I'm like, dude, I would love to have this. So, this is, I'm really excited about this one. I think once we color Oryx, it'll be easier to place, you know, Aang and Aang's hands and his head and stuff like that, because you'll have much more of a contrast, and then I can play with the contrast around Aang and all the accoutrements. So this would still, this is in the shadow, so this would still need to be that darker like maroon that I've been coloring with. Oops. All right. Cool. Glad you like cell shaded, because that's what I'm doing. Alright. I mean, it's not going to be exactly cell shaded, but it's going to be cell shaded ish. Alright, so that. Actually, you know what? Let me actually come in with a. I'm going to come in with a more magenta-ish. Actually, let me teardrop this real quick. So this is this color. So if I want a brighter, it's basically this. I know he looks kind of like peachy almost, but it will look good once I add the texture. And I'll show you what I'm talking about with the texture. Now, I've seen digital artists on like Twitch and stuff like that, and there are way easier to do what I'm doing. Way easier ways to do what I'm doing right now, but I haven't learned those ways, so we're gonna just do it my way, and it will turn out fine. So that's basically the colors that I want to use, and what we can do is we can alter these colors once I lay them down. Dude, I would love to play Destiny. It's been so long since I played, man. 50 points to whomever knows that reference. I'm gonna come in with that darker color in there and color those shadows, but for right now I'm just gonna color in this. Alright, actually I'm gonna color this one too. That one too. I'm coloring so hard and my monitor's shaking back and forth. Alright, cool. So far we have part of his helm. So I'm looking at this picture and I think this part is this color. So I'm going to take some of that. We're going to color that as well. Now I'm going to do it slightly darker because it's in the shadow. Almost. Plus you want to give it like a little bit of a form to it, and like when you use varying colors like that, it's not dark enough. Hold up. I want it to be just slightly darker. There we go. You use varying colors and stuff. Holy mother. Thanks, Big Yan. What's up, man? What's up, Big Yan? Big Yan in the house. Again, we are working on the commission piece. I don't know how long you've been here, so I'm just gonna... No, it's all good, dude. Not your fault. Totally my fault.
You're breathtaking.
Appreciate it.
You're all breathtaking.
Appreciate it, chump. Thanks for the shout-out, Locke. Appreciate it. Speaking of shout-outs, my man Caffeine Rush in the chat, I think, has made the decision this week. I don't want to speak for you, Caffeine Rush, but I think he's going to start streaming again. So for those of you who don't know, he's an avid gamer. He's really, really good. And he hasn't streamed for several years. I think 5 or 6 to be exact. But he plays Terraria. That's one of his jams, for those of you who know what that game is. So yeah, he's going to be starting streaming pretty soon. But yeah, man, thanks for stopping in, Big Yan. I really appreciate it. All right, come on now. All right, so let me see. So it's looking decent. Let me see. I'm trying to see his face. So his face is an even darker color, I think. So probably within a week or so. So if you like gaming and you like witty dialogue, Caffeine Rush is your man. Witty banter. That's what I wanted to say in that dialogue. Witty banter. Alright, let's see. So what I can do is, like, if I don't like a particular color that I did for a block of color, I can just come in. Now that I've added the blocks of color, I can just come in and paint bucket it and just change the whole thing in one fell swoop. So that's pretty sweet. Oh, so what I was saying, Big Ian, is if you weren't here earlier, we're working on a piece that Chunk the Hut, who's in chat, won during our 12-hour stream. This is a commission by me. It is Oryx, who is a raid boss in a Destiny expansion pack. So this dude's like 300 feet tall, and he's fighting Aang, the last airbender. So that's what we're working on now. Right now we are working on coloring Oryx. Oh, sorry, Cross. I just saw that. Oh, thanks for the follow. Thanks, dude. Thanks for the shout out, Cross. Appreciate it. Alright, so we're going to come in here. I need to see at the top of his head the color is on that. So it's the same. It's the same. Alright, so we're going to come in here and just color the rest of this. And then what you can do, since this is kind of in the light, or this is in the light rather, you come in here and kind of just pull out some of that soft shading, some of that rim lighting on the edge. So. But I'll do a little bit of that later. I don't want to do a lot of that right now. I'm just trying to lay in the solid blocks of color right now. So we're going to do The colors are kind of going to be all over the map on this, but I still want to stick within the same family. So we're going to come down here and do his jaw, or his mandible mask, whatever you want to call it. Dude, I'm wearing the nib out on this pen for my Wacom block. I need to get... I changed it out this week, and it's still really bad. That picture is just for reference. It's not gonna stay there. Avatar is one of my favorite series of all time, and I've played around 5,000 hours of Destiny. Dang! 5 Gs. That is a lot, my friend. I think the most, I'm trying to figure out the most I've ever put into a game. It has to be either Kingdom Hearts, Grand Theft Auto, or Red Dead Redemption. Because I played Kingdom Hearts until I got every single thing I could. And I was never a fan of role-playing games. And technically, I mean, I guess Kingdom Hearts is kind of a role-playing game, maybe. I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of role-playing games. So that was kind of my first foray into it. So I wanted to get everything that I could on it. Alright, so we're going to do a really, really dark for his skin in here. Even darker than that. Yeah, I think that might be okay. And then we'll come in here. Gears of War will always be my favorite. My games are Assassin's Creed, sunk in a lot of hours to Origin. I feel like I've been barely scratched the surface. Yeah, I think I've gotten over games that just are just, well, alright. So I say that, but I love open world games. I have a love-hate relationship with them because, you know, now that I have a family, I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I have a full-time job. Like, I don't just have endless hours that I can pour into video games. So I like them to have a solid beginning and an end. You know, with the ability to, if you want to sink a couple more hours in here and there, you can. Or if you just want to hop on and do a couple missions, that type thing, you can. But I just don't have the time like I used to for video games. Even though I like playing them.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than
no
fresh.
Kroger, no. I need to pay for Spotify. I'm getting tired of these commercials. Alright, so we have basically almost this whole head colored in. So let me I gotta figure out what this mask is. So it's like the same color. Alright. It's the same exact color. So let's bring this down. I'm gonna make these white lines. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna color through all this. I'll add details with shading. Because those lines on the side right there are supposed to be like raised, like on the side of armor, like raised ridges type thing. Oops. So I'll just add the details on like the side lighting and stuff like that. And I'll show you what I mean. I want to show you the that skin texture thing that I was talking about because it's so cool. I remember I watched because when I was trying to learn Photoshop, I watched a lot of artists on YouTube do those speed paintings, and then sometimes they would show you a technique. They would pause like on the drawing and show you a technique, and one of them was texture layering. So let me come in here. So like for instance, I have this rhino skin texture that I really like. So if I select all, copy, actually let me black and white, right? Because I don't need the color, I just need the texture. So if I copy this, and basically I just want it on his skin, or what I think is his skin. So basically pull it down here, and then what you can do is you can multiply, and then you lighten it up just a tad. Or no, I'm sorry, you take the opacity down, that's right. Actually, let me do this. The scales are so small you can't really see them. So if I hit enter and then take the opacity down just a tad, and this is the tedious part, but you could come in here and just erase all this stuff. And basically come in here and now you have like rhino skin texture on his face. And you can kind of manipulate it however you want. Like I can, it's a little dark right now, obviously, so I can bring the brightness up. And then you can bring the contrast up so you can see the skin just a tad more. And obviously I don't want it on his teeth. Oops, don't want it on his teeth. Let me see. Oh, I missed some chat. First ACs are amazing. So how many hours I like on Origin. Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, Black Flag are huge favorites. What got me to try Assassin's Creed for the first time with Odyssey and Origins, both ended up platinum and doing all the DLC. Dang. Destiny isn't the only game I play. I play tons of other games too. I just always go back to Destiny because of the good times I had. God Brave Knight did it too. I love the series and I'm happy. You still play Valhalla. I need to go back to DLC. I gotta finish Valhalla. It's cool. I got chat. You do your thing, bro. Alright. Sorry, I don't want to miss anything. What do you call it when I don't want to miss out on stuff? I don't like missing out on stuff. I forgot what you call that. It's not, I don't want to miss out on stuff. There's an actual name for it. Alright, so coming in here, doing the white of the teeth. There you go. Obviously his teeth are not going to be white, but I'm just erasing the texture so we don't need it on his teeth. There we go. So now you can see like he has a little bit of texture on there. It's not perfect, but yeah. FOMO, that's it. FOMO. I got fear of missing out. I don't like that. Alright, so I'm going to actually take the opacity up again a little bit, and I'm going to bring the brightness up. So now you can see it's a bit of texture on his face, right? And I'll do the same thing. Let me label this. Or skin texture. Alright. Fear of missing out. Yeah, that's right. Start of Valhalla. Couldn't get into it. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed games. Not for lack of want. I just haven't. I have so many other games that I need to play. I have like 3 or 4 PS4 games on my deck that I haven't played. Not on my actual deck, like a stream deck, but there. So coming in here and just laying down some of the, needs to be a little darker actually. Midtones. Let me try this. Alright, so I need to soften the edge of this, so I'm going to take the exposure down a little bit. And I'm going to change the brush type. Oh, it's already soft. Okay. So, let's come in here. That way it'll have a soft edge instead of that hard edge that it had. Oh, it still has a hard edge, so let me see. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Alright, let's see. Let's turn this music back on, shall we? Alright, so I'm going to make his eyes just that I needed. Appreciate it, Cross. Cool thing about him having glowy eyes is you can make him bounce. You can make the light of the eyes bounce off of his armor and off of his skin and stuff like that. Alright, cool. So let's start, I'm going to start adding a little bit of shadow and stuff to this. I don't like that. It's too blue. Shadows, there we go. Nope, that's not right either. Let's try highlights. Nope, I guess we have to go with the midtones. Alright, let's try this again. A week after it, I meant scare the crap out of me. Dude, it scared the crap out of me too. Dude, I love doing this. I could do this like legit for hours. As long as I have tunes, I'm good, man. It's a little tougher for me if I don't have music, but I do like to listen to music when I paint. Ooh, I really like that. I love that shadow on the bottom. I'm a fan. Appreciate it. There we go. Alright, so this is what it's looking like so far. I did want music. Yeah, dumpling? That's right. I tried to tell Nitro at the beginning, the amount of people that lurk and just watch is amazing. It's like visual ASMR. I don't like that part. So just adding some, just some like stray shadows. Again, it's gonna kind of have a cell shaded vibe to it, even though I'm throwing in some soft shadows. It's not like 100% cell shaded, but that was probably the best thing in the history of things. That might rival the sip shinking in the intro. What? Calling a Nitro during APES. APES? APES? Oh man, that's funny stuff. Alright, so we're gonna come in here, throw some edge lighting. I don't like that. It looks like it's blown out, like a photo. So maybe not that much. Nope, never. That was possibly the best thing. Definitely going in the next year's intro. I just know this drawing is going to scare the crap out of me one night when I'm half asleep. Alright, so... Oops, closed out chat. I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to just do a little bit of highlights. Not a ton. Because this still should be the same color.
Introducing the Lowe's list.
No.
There's innovation in every aisle. These are some of our experts.
Alright. And come in here. Just do some of the little highlights. There we go. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of how this is turning out, so let me looks a little splotchy, so I need to make it look more solid. It almost looks like energy is pulsing through it, which I actually don't mind that. It doesn't bother me. Alright, so then you have, so these are like ridges on his skin. I don't want to add too much highlight to it because it's skin. Well, it's not, I guess it is a skin though. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take that texture out. So I think all this is part of his skin, I guess. Alright, so let me, so when you're doing this, you really got to think about where the light would actually fall. Like, if this was a real dude, where would the light fall? If this was an actual lid to an eye, where would the light hit it? If the light's coming from this way, then it would hit it on the top of this ridge right here. And it would hit it on the bottom. Have some highlights up here. This whole thing right here would be basically a huge highlight because it's right in the light. Same with this. But then we come in here and just do a little bit of a Alright, stop. Alright. Cool. Bedtime for me. That thing looks absolutely amazing. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So the drawing's gonna scare you. Oh, you already got that. Alright, so come down here, do a little edge lighting, a little highlight, not a ton, not a huge highlight, just a little bit of a highlight, because this is a separate portion of said face mask. Plus it's the edge, so you want to lighten up the edge a little bit to make it look kind of 3D. Let me see. Also, we can lighten up this part too to make it pop just a tad more, because this is also a raised edge. Yeah. Alright, so I'm liking it so far. I'm going to come in here and just add a couple highlights to the gum. Not a fan of that. Let's actually finish coloring the rest of him. So let me see what this actually looks like with the blue. Yeah, I'm liking that. So the thing with this is we can change the color on this. I don't want it necessarily so purple. I'd rather have it like almost like an aqua. Like I want it to look like sky or an energy field. Actually, let me change the color on that just a tad. Maybe slightly more purple. There we go. Alright, cool. So let's work on the bottom part of this dude. I knew most of this was going to be me coloring him. So let us come in here, and so this is going to be more of a tannish, grayish. So I want it to have some warmth to it because I want to pull from that mask. This is probably going to be a little more difficult. Let me make sure I like this color. Yeah. Thanks, bro. I haven't had a lot of success with coloring, drawing something in pen and ink and then coloring it in Photoshop and it turning out decent. So this is a first for me, Chunk. Yeah, I like that. I like that color a lot. Because it's not gray, but it looks kind of gray, but it's still slightly warm color. It's still a slightly warm color, so it's pulling some of the warmness from the face and kind of matching it. So I like that a lot. Oh, I gotta hide this dude so I can see the rest of this armor. Oops, shoot. This file size is gonna be like 100 and some megs. It's going to be ginormous. I did Locke. I know you're not a huge fan of Evangelion, but I did this huge like piece for the EVA Unit 01. like when he's in berserk mode. It's not really even. I mean, it's colored, but he's in a grayscale. The Eva is, and there's like a Japanese sun behind him. But the file size was like, it was like 150 megs. And then I'm like, holy mother, that's like the biggest thing I've ever worked on. But it was also 16 by 20. It's pretty sweet. It's one of my favorites. I actually I printed out a copy for myself and I have it hanging up in the office. Next to this dude. Well, it's not next to him, but it's close. Dude, my nib is about to catch on fire on my Wacom. For those of you who don't know what a nib is, it's the edge of this thing. Like you can replace these. This one's he's about seeing his last day, I guess. Alright, so let me zoom out a little bit and take a look at this. Alright, I'm going to do slightly different colors for some of the armor. I need to make this a little darker. I'm going to come in here with the shadows. Oops, it's past your bedtime. Dude, cannot wait to see the finished piece. Appreciate it, man. I'm stoked. I thought we might be able to get close to finishing it tonight, but there's no way. So, but I think there's a good chance we'll finish it next week. So then I can start on the next piece, which I'm not sure who that was. It's either Watson, Caleb, and there's somebody else. I do know that. Watson from Co-op Trio, Caleb from Mountain Nerds, and there was one other person. They're in my DMs for Discord. I'll check them out. But you sleep tight, Locke. If you're leaving, man. Haha. Yeah, dude, come on, stay a while. All right, so what I'm gonna do is this.
No, God!
Holy mother!
No, God, please, no, 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 no!
I'm gonna. Let's see. Sorry, I'm making a selection because I want this to be slightly darker. Yes, I'm doing this with my mouse. I have no idea why. Pretty deft mouse selection though, if I have to say so myself. Not bad, man. Not bad. It needs to be a little darker. Not that dark. Alright, cool. No, it's all good, man. He did scare the crap out of me, though. Shout out Locksteady. Love you, bro. Have a good night. Speaking of, I'm probably going to be wrapping it up in a little, like, just a little bit. Thanks for the lurk, bro. I don't know if I like that. That's a little too much. There we go. All right, now I gotta see. Is his wings? I think his wings are the same color as his skin. So let's pull. What's up, Bursted? How you doing, bro? Thanks for popping in. It's going good. Just working on a commission piece from the our 12-hour stream that we had. Chunk the Hut, who's in chat. This is the piece that he wanted. This is Oryx from Destiny, who's a raid boss, versus Aang, the last Airbender. So we're trying to get this knocked out. We worked on it last week, the drawings. Now we're working on the colorings in Photoshop right now. So yeah. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Okay, really? Let's not do this. I need the glyphs. There we go. It's like, really? Oops. Let's try that again. Can somebody do a shout out for Bursted? So what you up to, Bursted, other than hanging out? Did you have a good day, man? Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Sorry I didn't see it. Alright, so I want the wings to kind of be a lighter color, like the actual wings. And I can come in.
Love getting prices that are lower than low.
Sorry
Food
for those of you
that's
who
fresher than fresh.
hear that commercial. I don't pay for Spotify, so I get commercials. That's what happens. Oops. Alright, just patch that up. Patch that up. Cool, man. You got kids? That's awesome. I have a little girl myself and a little boy. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, dude. Girls are a trip. They are a trip. I taught my girl, my little girl, she's 4 years old. She's starting to jump off of stuff, like really high stuff. And she's not bending her knees when she lands. And she did it today, and she jumped off like the 8th step from the top, and she landed stiff leg. I'm like, dude, you gotta bend your legs, man. You gotta bend your legs. That's no good. come in here and color his neck. Actually, let's do a little lighter color. Yeah, I know. Because she did it, and then she came over to me holding her stomach. I'm like, dude, you got to bend your legs. So then I showed her how to do it appropriately as her dad. This is how you jump off the 10th step from the top appropriately. Yeah, we have our little 4-year-old girl in ballet too. She just had a recital. That's awesome. For those of you who are not parents, I'm sorry. We're just having a daddy talk right now. Just gonna have to deal with it. I love you all. Alright, so let's come in with the shadows. Like, I want it to be a little darker. No, that's like too red. Let's try highlights. Nope, not working. So it'll have to be midtones. Alright, so one cool thing to make these wings look semi-translucent is we will come in with a soft brush of very low opacity and just erase, shoot, if it'll let me do it. Erase some of the paint. So select the soft brush, come in here. So what that means is I'm gonna have to take some of this blue up here and pull it behind the wing so it kind of pulls through. So basically kind of want them to be semi-translucent like that. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes mine tells me I was never a kid. I'm like, all right, jumping in on the dad talk. Got to start my little girl and dance this year. Nice, dude. Yeah, our little girl Lily was always dancing, so she was dancing around the house. We're like, well, why don't we just put her in ballet? And she likes it. All right, let's do this again. All right, I'm going to finish these wings, and then I'm probably going to call it, folks. I don't think the wings look that bad, honestly. Come in with a little bit of the burn. The burn, it burns. And then what I'm gonna do, Chunk, is after so I'm laying in the main shadows and the main blocks of color, and then I'm going to come in and do highlights, like if I wanted to do some rim lighting. Let me see, sorry, I want to do a little bit of rim lighting. Oop, not like that. Let me do a soft brush. Let me break down the opacity just a tad. Come in here. I won't be white, obviously, but so you can pull out some of the highlights. Like for instance, if I wanted to really pull out this green in his eyes, then I could, let me take this opacity down a bit, but I could just so you could see like his eyes are glowing, you know. And then if I wanted to be really cool, I could come back behind here and take the flow down and just add a glow around it almost. So I'm not gonna do that right now, but here we go. All right, we got very far tonight. Did I take drawing classes? Yeah, Bursted. I went to I took drawing classes in elementary, middle, and high school, and I went to art school. Well, I went to school for art, I should say. So, but yeah, I work in IT during the day. So, thanks, Cross. I appreciate it, man. We are going to erase this because I don't think we need this anymore, actually. And Bursted, just so everybody can see where we're at with. So we have, oops. So we have Aang right here, which we haven't colored him yet. We have, let me erase this. Let me erase that. We have Aang's head, and then we have Aang's hands. So this is going to be like a comic book panel type thing. I've still got to figure out where I want everything, but yeah, so that's what we're looking at. But I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. Let me just save this before I forget. As always, I really appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I am kind of exhausted, not gonna lie. So we got a lot done in the piece. We got most of Oryx colored and shaded. I think we should be able to wrap this up next Monday, and then we will get started on the others. So it's either going to be Caleb's, which is, he was talking about the Mark IV armor, I think, from Iron Man in a hero pose, which I've never drawn Iron Man, so that'll be fun. And then Watson from Co-op Trio wants me to do another Aang piece. So for some reason, Fire Lord's son from Avatar is escaping my brain. Anyways, it's basically Aang and him, each holding their element in their hand. Thanks, Chunk. I appreciate it, man. Zuko, that's it. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. So Zuko and Aang, but split right down the middle. So this half is Aang and this half is Zuko. And then their respective temples in the background, the fire and air temple. So that'll be cool, man. I'm excited about that one. And then there's one more. I know there's 4 of them. I got to figure out which one that is. But we are Comics in the Cross, the greatest streamers that you have never heard of. Again, thanks for everybody for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I will talk to you guys on Sunday. And as always, it's a good week to be a geek.